So we're told there's no state religion in the West, certainly not in the United States, but in fact there is. It's scientism. It's the worship of science. It's the belief, and all of us learn this at a young age, that everything around us, everything we experience can be measured by people in white coats. That's science. And if it can't be measured, it's not real. The problem with this religion is that our life, our daily experience contradicts it. Constantly, all of us are seeing, hearing, tasting, feeling things that can't be measured by science, but it doesn't make them any less real. These are, by definition, supernatural. Supernatural experiences are a feature of everyone's life. And if we're honest, we'll admit that.
Tucker Carlson exposes the true religion of the current America, and it is sad. Let's watch.
So what do they mean exactly? Well, Lee Strobel was a reporter. He worked for the Chicago Tribune and left and became a pastor. So he has religious faith, but also a grounding in empiricism, the desire to prove things. He is the perfect person to write the book that he did about the supernatural. That would be dreams, mystical dreams, near-death experiences, miracles, ghosts. We sat down with him to hear just how common these experiences are and what they mean.
I would like to even say, my friend, once you get close to God, those experiences are actually like quite normal. Feeling the presence of God and angels around you, having dreams, getting words of not. These are actual normal occurrences that happened to me personally. And I think even when I was not Christian, when I didn't know anything about God, or I would experience things that I couldn't explain, that I knew there has to be another realm or another something that is facilitating this thing, that it's not just happening in the natural. So, yes, sir. So very true.
Lee Strobel. So you've written a book. I don't do a lot of book interviews, but I couldn't resist this one. Seeing the Supernatural, Investigating Angels, Demons, Mystical Dreams, Near-Death Encounters, and Other Mysteries of the Unseen World.
Right.
I think a lot of us sense or know on some level, in fact, I think everybody knows on some level, that there is a world that science can't measure or quantify.
Yeah.
That there is, that there's stuff that we can't explain.
Yeah.
But that it's no less real for our inability to explain it. So let's go through the list.
Yeah. By the way, I was an atheist. I'm trained in journalism and law. And so I'm always looking for corroboration.
Yes.
I'm looking for evidence.
As
I'm
you
looking
should.
for facts. And so you're right. I think there's an intuitive sense that most people have that there's something beyond what we can see, touch, or put in a test tube. 8 out of 10 Americans believe that. But
By the way, I wish there was a scientific arm in the Christian ecosystem where we are able to judge a miracle. Actually, I think the Catholics have this in a way, but in a way where it's like this, because I've seen so many miracles, but no one's documenting it. It's like a miracle occurs, we move on to the next thing. A testimony happens, we record the testimony, but it's like, look, someone has cancer, they go to church, the next day they don't have cancer. Like there should be a way to document that. Where I would love to have something like that be done, so that, because I think science is discovering what's already there. I think there's a way we can do it where we can scientifically show a miracle. Though we won't be able to explain how it happened, we know a person was sick, they went to church, they came back, they're no longer sick. I wish there was a system in place that can showcase that. Because that argument, it's an easy argument once a person is in the church to be able to defend it. Show them, look at these cases. But when they're not in the church, they're not seeing the miracles. They're not seeing the deliverances. They're not seeing words of knowledge. They don't care about that. And they don't believe it's real anyways. They believe we're all in this state of delusion. So if we're able to imagine bringing a doctor. Okay, you're a cancer doctor. Okay, here are 10 cancer patients. We'll pray for them. First, check them, see how they are. Do they actually have cancer? Yes, this one has stage 4. Yes, this one has breast cancer. And we test everybody scientifically. And then, boom, we begin to ask Jesus to heal. And when the healing happens, we go and actually look. Okay, what has happened? I wish there was a way we could do that.
But how do we know? What is the evidence? And that's what I try to get into in the book. How can we be sure through corroborated evidence that indeed there are such things as miracles, as near-death experiences, as deathbed encounters, and mystical dreams and things like that?
Yeah.
Atheism is the leap of imagination.
It is. That's true.
It's hard to be an atheist.
It's very true.
Admire them in a way, though. Feel sorry for them. But anyway, okay. Angels.
Yeah.
What's an angel?
Fascinating. Angels are created by God before humankind was created. They are spirit beings, so they're not omniscient like God is. They're not omnipresent like God is. They don't age because there's no physical body. They don't marry because there's no physical body. They're very intelligent, very smart, and they are, according to the Bible, they are to serve not only God but also His people. And what's interesting,
the Christian Bible,
yeah,
with the Hebrew Old Testament,
yeah,
makes reference to these. Is
yes.
there any culture in the world that doesn't believe in some form of angel?
It's pretty universal. Yeah, it is pretty universal.
Like every culture.
Yeah, just virtually every culture.
Yeah, isn't that crazy? It is only recently that America became this, like we're going to dumb down all the spiritual woo-woo stuff, and we're going to keep all the rational advice in the Bible, and all the woo-woo stuff, we're just going to, it's ceased to happen. All the miracles, they've stopped happening. You don't have to worry about that. Speaking in tongues, you don't have to worry about that. You don't have to worry about that. Healing, God, if He wants to do it, but you don't have to worry about that. But secularism, it's only recently that every single country, you just go 50, 80 years back, every single nation was very spiritual. We're still spiritual, but now we're denying God. It's strange.